Peace, everybody. This is Milana Al Hassan with the Crypto Plan and DeFi Group. Today's discussion is going to be about the first thing that Biden has done in office. Today is the 24th of January. And this is an issue, right? Donald Trump put the ban on immigration and things of that nature. And it was done for a reason. And my problem now is the same people who's asking for reparations, right? Well, not the exact same, but the people who are doing the worst in the country voted for the worst candidate to make America great, right? Should I say keep America great? Because America was already great. That's why so many immigrants wanted to come here, because anything is better than where they were staying, right? So I want to show, black people what has happened pertaining to their votes and voting in this guy just to get somebody else out, to just get someone else out who was actually doing something to help advance your position in the country. Now, notice that the ADOS movement, I look at their videos, they're very educational. And Yvette Cornell, she's very educational also. Antonio Moore. I've seen them face all kind of adversarial things pertaining to the parties and all that type of stuff. And I do understand it because of the historical aspect of the Republicans' whole founding pretty much was to abolish enslaved Africans. Everything in this country is done for money. So I'm not talking about any party is really better than the others. But what we need to look at is these candidates' policies. And one thing's for sure, the policies of the Democrats from all this time has been to demolish the U.S. and the U.S. standing document known as the Constitution. Now, my disappointment is the fact that African Americans couldn't see it, and that they voted for Joe Biden at a high rate. So I'm going to look at something right quick. And this is just something I'm going to look up, see what the sources are saying. And then I'm going to make specific points directed to the black community. Okay. They're saying black voters. Okay. Delivered Biden a presidential victory. And even within that, this is December 24th. Now, I don't believe it because fraud was seen openly. And it was openly seen that the Democrats, that specific party, was cheating. So I think that this whole black voters helped deliver Biden as presidential victory. Now what? I think that this is a lie. I don't believe this. This is a lie. Now, he is the president, but he is the president due to fraud. And I'm going to say the reason I say it's due to fraud, because I'm going to take my own responsibility, is because of the flagrant and outrageous things that has happened during the voting process. But my whole point of saying that is you had people say what they did with ballots. You had legally where people were finding ballots thrown away, all kind of things being done with ballots, which validated President Trump at the time going hard in trying to reverse the election. Now they're still saying that. Now you have the Supreme Court of the U.S. not even touching this stuff, which they're supposed to, but they're not even touching it. So I don't believe it was won fair and square. I've been in situations where nothing is won fair and square. And this was definitely a setup and was not won fair and square. All black people. It wasn't black people 100%. And those numbers are fudged. I don't believe that. The majority of black people I talked to did not like Biden. Okay? But I'm going to use this as another, or Kamala Harris, I'm going to use this as another video. Okay, but what I do want to talk about today, kind of coinciding with that, because since they want to blame black people, everything they want to, if you notice, the demise of your people is the fact that your leaders are punks and pussies. They don't do anything, right? They're blaming all this stuff on black men. They lied. They had some black women lie on black men, say it was a black man, and all this other type of stuff. No other race does this at this magnitude, definitely. And then they didn't apologize for the lies that they said. But then they used African American struggle as a black struggle for everyone, right? Set you up for failure, mainly because they want you out the way. All right? They want you out the way and little by little picking you off. First, your women don't breed like they used to. Next, they degrade you like they're doing and have done and are doing. They breed more daughters that go against the so-called black men, so they don't like the black fathers, and the new breed of men become uneducated and worthless to society as a whole. Not only just theirs, but society as a whole. So what you have is this matriarchy of women that may be more educated and running the show, but at the end they're ran by another type of man, not even their men. You get what I'm saying? So, and these same people got mad at their own family for voting for Trump. Now, I'm not going to go through history of socialism, communism. A lot of videos out there about it. I'm not going to do that in this video. I've talked about statistics and left links and videos about statistics pertaining to the labor force, pertaining to employment of so-called black people. And it's very disappointing. I'm not the type that's going to sit here in front about it. It's disappointing. The African American realm. Not to speak about Africa. All right, I just leave the Africa shit alone. I don't even want to speak about that. That's disappointing too. That's why I'm all for separation. If you can get with people who are like-minded and you can build amongst each other, and then separate out, spread out. But let's go over this today. Okay. The other video, Why Blacks Need to Separate, Part 2, I talked about why black people need to separate. Part 1, I gave some statistics and what the Bureau of Labor Statistics was saying about the job participation. Now, we talking about job participation. Job participation is minor, right? But in this, it could be minor in your mind, but in this society, it's major. Because even if you have a job, your job can help get you from having a job to entrepreneurial status. But what you find is people don't even want to go through having a job or schooling to get to an entrepreneur status. So what is that going to leave them? I have a couple of words for it, but that's been used by the elite. And what it boils down to is you're being set up. You set yourself up. Your leaders have set you up for failure. So that's why I make these videos. They have certain people they call useless eaters, among other things, right? So which one are you? But what I'm going to do is talk about this vote about Joe Biden. We already saw we saw the thing, the article that talked about black people is who helped Joe Biden. Really, Joe Biden shouldn't even be at this level at all. But it's about to go even further downhill now, further down the rabbit hole to a grave. Let me make this point. Mexican leader says Biden offers $4 billion for Central America. Mexico's president says that President Joe Biden has told him the U.S. will send $4 billion to help develop in Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Right? Where is he getting this money from? Where is this guy getting this money from? I tell you he's going to send them our money, right? So their countries could do some shit that they should be already doing, right? Now, if you have, now I'm going to make a point later. Make a point. Right. So let's move on. Okay. Several thousand Hondurans have begun the journey towards U.S. January 16th. Right, about 8 days ago or so. Maybe 10, whatever. Right. Now, you go online, you'll see what Guatemalan government has went through, right? Or going through currently with this situation. With these actions of the Honduran people trying to get through Guatemala to make it to the U.S. So understand that you have foreigners trying to come to the U.S. because the U.S. is the best, it's the greatest country in the world currently for opportunities. If you haven't been anywhere or met anyone outside your race, then you don't understand how the struggle really is. You just understand the hood struggle. But if you understand the hood struggle, then you have more knowledge to understand how it is in other countries than anybody. Let's move on. Biden administration admin likely to provide U.S. citizenship to over 500,000 Indians. Right? The Biden administration will support family-based immigration and preserve family unification. Right? So they're going to preserve family unification. This is the U.S. Right? That's something that they have beat black people up for how long? Right? As a core principle of the U.S. immigration system, which includes reducing the family visa backlog. Okay, so they're going to give these people citizenships, right, to reduce the backlog. Mainly that's what they're doing, is reduce the backlog. They ain't throwing the people shit in the trash, but they're reducing the backlog so it can be more Indians here. A lot of people that's born in India or what these people were considered discriminatory or racist. Another thing, a lot of people from India, because don't forget Mahatma Gandhi, who they say is so great, was racist, was prejudiced, right? Correct? Didn't want to sit beside people on the bus and shit, stuff like that. He was so great. Okay. Now, let's move on. Another point. Joe Biden's agenda for the Indian American community. You know why he did that specifically. Kamala Harris already said that she's going to do something for Indian Americans. Now understand. Now, I learned this from, if you know I'm Muslim, okay? I learned this from being around a lot of people from other countries, a lot of immigrants, okay? One thing that people bring into this country coming from other countries is the same mindset. Now, for black people, that could be good or it could be bad, right? So take, for instance, I said a lot of Indians are prejudiced. You know why? Because a lot of them come from a caste system, a literal open caste system. Okay, understand the U.S. have what's called a class system. It's just a caste system. They just took the freaking L off and called it a caste instead of class. Okay, it's all playing. They just playing with the words, as they say. Okay, it's the same thing. But Indians over there, the Brahma class, of course, which is Kamala, is the higher end class. They more so the white class. And they look down on the darker skinned people. Okay? Let's go on. So we passed this. Now we're going back to Central America. Migrant caravan. Guatemala blocks. Thousands bound for U.S. Thousands of people were intercepted on a road near the border with Honduras on Sunday. The government said it would not accept illegal mass movements. An estimated 7,000 migrants, mostly from Honduras, have entered in recent days fleeing poverty and violence. They hope to travel to Mexico and then U.S. border. Every year, tens of thousands of Central American migrants attempt this perilous journey to try and reach the U.S., often on foot in groups known as caravans. President Joe Biden, Democrat, has vowed to end the strict immigration policies of his presidency predecessors, Donald Trump, a Republican. You can go to this article and read okay? And it has some points. You know, Trump stopped some migrants, but he didn't stop a lot of immigrants, okay? He stopped more than what this guy is going to do. What's happening with this is horrendous, okay? This would be horrendous for the native-born blacks, right? And it may even be horrendous for Mexicans. It's going to be horrendous for native-born blacks, definitely. And certain people, certain Spanish-speaking groups. Let's move on. Honduran migrant traveling to U.S. claims Biden is going to help all of us. These people are serious, people. Still low. Let's listen. Now, he said you have a president that's not helping the population. But here we have Joe Biden, right? that his agenda, right, is to help everybody. His agenda for our vision in the U.S., for those people who pay into the system, is to help everybody, right? So is the goal for your money to help everybody, or is the goal for you to help your people and your family? Okay, so did you hear everything he said? 100 days, right? Now, I'm not going to do it in this video because I know exactly what video he's talking about. But this is 7,000 people, right? 7,000 Guatemalans to try to get over here now. Of course, no smart country is just letting their country be invaded by anybody other than the U.S. having policies to just say, hey, come over the borders, which he's, pretty much gotten rid of the border bans that Trump had in place to try to protect the people who had no fucking jobs, right? To try to get the infrastructure back together for the people in the country that didn't have jobs, right? So right now you have 10 million people with no jobs. Okay, so let's move on. Because this is important. Now, these are people from Honduras. Now, under the other president, under Trump, right? You had the deportation of a lot of people, and a lot of these people, like he said, were criminal. Some of them were former gang members, as they may say, and some of them were actual gang members. Some of them are probably dead now because the fact that they weren't just gang members, but they were the group that you've heard, the MS-13. And I know dudes who went to prison with the MS-13. You know what I'm saying? And if you look online, these people didn't play. So you think, and this MS-13 people that's still here, don't get me wrong. But what you're hearing is they saying that some of these gangs infiltrated. They're saying infiltrated. You don't have to infiltrate nothing just to try to get across a border. If it's a caravan, you can just join in the damn caravan. But they say that they know that some of these caravans have been infiltrated, right? They're saying infiltrated. It's not true. It's just they in there with the caravans of Honduras, right? Okay, they just want to get over here because it's free over here. It's stuff over here that they could do. They could progress. They can go to school, right? They can go to school. They can better themselves because in their country, they didn't have those means. Now, let me make this other point because I want to look at this agenda, Joe Biden's vision, because the laziness has to be done. The laziness has to be over. It has to be over. Let's look at these agendas. Somebody else did it too. Trump rewards wealth, Biden rewards work, whatever that means. Restore America leadership abroad. Abroad. Everything is abroad. Everything is abroad. See, that's why dude kept saying, make America great again, because nothing is heard. And then then what you're going to do is have complaints because China has control of everything, and China pretty much owns all the technology. Your iPhones, your Samsung phones, you've been know as soon as it said Samsung, right? Half of us already knew because iPhones was built in China, right? No jobs over here. Everything left. Ensure the future is made in America. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Unless he's bringing foreigners over here to make stuff in America that they buying from other countries that's going to get the other country's strength. You know, this is ridiculous. Secure our values as a nation of immigrants. He's saying everybody in this motherfucker's an immigrant. Everybody. A nation of immigrants. Now look at this. I don't know how many black people came to this site to look at this shit. I personally don't know none. I just know they didn't like Trump because he had orange skin. They called him racist, right? But these weren't the policies on the board. Dude actually had dialogue with leaders of communities. Support our veterans. You know, come on, man. Support our veterans. They haven't done this in years with a lot of veterans. The person who was talking about bringing the military home was old boy. They full of it. Support educators and students. Everybody knows, even Thomas Sowell said that educators don't get paid what they should, which we know they don't. Tackle the climate emergency, strengthen tribal nations, improve racial economic equity, strengthen the caregiving and education workforce. The Biden plan for a clean energy future, safely reopen schools, empower and protect women. Oh boy, here we go. People with disabilities, support essential workers, scale up employment insurance, fix our bankrupt system. You can't do that. You all know how much the U.S. is in bankruptcy. This is not happening. Everybody knows this not happening. The educated people knows this not happening. People who read. The Biden plan for Black America. Strengthen ties with Central America. Serve. Look, this is. Look at all this. You all think that this is going to happen in 8 years, 4 to 8 years? He said, Indian Americans. Let me prove a point right quick. The Biden plan for Black America. I'm not going to read it. You go back and read it. I've already read it. Y'all can read through this. I'm not going to read through any more of this. Some of it's just crap. The Catholic community. Catholic is religion. It's not a people. Indian American community, Jewish community, okay. Muslim American community, African diaspora. Now, this is the point I'm trying to make, right? This and this can be put together. So really, this could include this. These don't have this stuff, don't even have to be separate like that. Even though it's a large amount of Arabs that's Christian. See, people don't know that either. They don't know it's a large amount of Arabs that's Christian. The same thing for African diaspora. Let's go to what diaspora means, because there's also diasporas for every other group. Diaspora. Yeah, we take Wikipedia. A diaspora is a scattered population whose origin lies in a separate geographic locale. Historically, the word diaspora was used to refer to the mass dispersion of a population from its indigenous territory, specifically the diaspora of Jews, because, they always say diaspora of Jews. well, not diaspora, but Holocaust. But they talk about diaspora Jews. Everybody know the Jews that got dispersed in different places, but people, it's like they don't talk about when the Moors that got expelled from Spain, that they end up getting dispersed to different places also. But that's for a reason too. Black people don't identify themselves in their internationally known status and going off to something else. Long story short, this is the definition of these things, and this is what's going on in our country, because it is our country. People can stunt like it's not our country. It's our country. And my point of this is, do you want to pay $4 billion to somebody else and they giving you 600 here, 1,200 here, 600 here, 1,400 here, and then they're trying to tell you that you're not going to get your money that you put in the system. Somebody has some bill that they're trying to put out that if you don't take the COVID-19 shot, that you're not going to get the next stimulus. Right? So they're going to dish your money out to you and dish your money out to everyone else. Let alone if we go over this $1.9 trillion bill, and the last one was $900 million. Right? Stimulus package. Right? Let's see if this is even online, or did they block this info? Right. So, long story short, because I'm not going to go through all this, you all can do the information, do the reading on your own. You should be doing this anyway, right? I'll make another video pertaining to this, but I just had to bring this out because this is important. Like nobody's talking about this. And this is not just, my video is not just going to be on YouTube where it can get shut down. Right? I have videos on Theta. I have videos on Library, right? So this is real freedom of speech here. And not only that, people, you can get paid to watch videos on Theta. You can get paid to watch videos on Library. So when you watch videos, you can get paid. When I watch videos, when you watch videos, you can get paid and I get paid for you watching videos. How about that? So I'm going to leave those links below. But stop giving away your data and your information for fucking free. And us being in this country, being born here, even if you say you're not American, you are because you're fucking born here. Somebody attack America, somebody do something with America, you're gonna be involved because you're next on the list of getting attacked, right? So we need to do something, people. All right. If you're black, you at the bottom. You need to get with like-minded people. Do something, people, because somebody's buying a lot of land out here to do some things to you. They're not doing it for good. And the people that own the land are not saying, I'm not going to sell it to them. They're fucking selling. Why? Because they're not good people? Yeah, because they're not good people. They want the money. People want money. People do shit for money. Right? All right, then. Bless your families, everybody, doing this harsh and bad, Quranic, biblical time of religious proportions. So, peace.